Please note that the following views and the opinions expressed in this program are not necessarily the views nor the opinions of the Master Force Group, YouTube.com, Free America Radio Network, our sponsors, our partners, and MFG is a private society. Nothing here is ever to be construed as hate, medical, nor legal advice. And listen to the Forbidden History prime time 7 days a week right here on the realpublicradio.net, because hidden beneath the sands of time lies the greatest of all mysteries. It's the Forbidden History. Unearth for yourself the secret truths that lie hidden just beneath the surface below our feet. What is it that the powers that be do not want you or I to know? Come and journey with us as we explore and dare to know, because it's all right here, coming your way 7 days a week, somewhere out there, at least recorded, but every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, and every Saturday and Sunday, 9 a.m. Eastern Time, right here on the realpublicradio.net, Free America Radio Network. What they didn't want you to know, that we tell right here. Coming up next, ladies and gentlemen, still time to call your friends. You did call your friends, right? Well, thanks for doing that. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Okay, notice for the listener. This program is an online class and a workshop for our friends and family. So please, no grandstanding or large postings, nor other promotions. Thank you for your cooperation. And welcome to Ask Dezert-Owl on the Forbidden History series. I'm NinjaCat, and I'd like to welcome everybody back to the program and any new listeners as well. Sit back and prepare to hear a few things that you haven't heard before. We're in for another amazing read coming up from Desert. And I just want to say g'day to Anna and to anybody else out there. Welcome. This is a live call-in program. We encourage live callers and viewer participation, so please feel free to call in with your questions and your comments. Desert loves to answer questions and discussion always opens things up as well, and we learn things. The call-in number is 608-566-7295. That's 608-566-7295. I will put it in the chat in a minute. Or you can Skype NinjaCat, all one word, NinjaCat. Look for the white circle with the purple NinjaCat in it with a sword. And every first time caller automatically gets a free gift, the Handbook of Christianity, or one of Desert's other beautiful transliterations that you will find over on Amazon. The link is in the description, so please check them out. The PDF version of your choice, as a free gift for calling in. And they're all beautiful reads. So we encourage you to call in so that you can get some reading material. Okay. In essence, Desert discusses the history of the world and how the unseen hand has been running it from the very beginning of recorded history. Who they are and how they have founded all of the first great civilizations that are found all around the world. About who the giants really were, and the ancient Aryan caste and slave systems, the priesthoods, the anti-gravity V-manners, the Earth-based misnomered UFOs, which are all man-made, the control of all forms of communications, commerce, religion, mass media, pseudo-politics, etc. It is the grand deception that is used to control all of mankind, and all instituted through the four main religions of the world in particular, and used as their grand cover. Their cybercode has been revealed to him because he has become adept within the study of the ancient alphabets, communications, symbolism, religion, custom, law, cosmology, and mythology, not to mention the fallacy of today's political science and pseudoscience in particular. Desert can also define the true nature of their warfare, their shell game of bringing one civilization up for their temporary use and then taking it down for the next 500-year generational cycle, as symbolized by the classical burning up of the phoenix. Desert discusses the ultimate in mind control and ancient art, and the financial control, the secret societies and their blood occult rituals, and how they wage all wars throughout all time, through the nations that they have created, which are all imaginations, plantations, and mere corporations. They have taken blood oaths to surrender their self-will and mind to their blind goddess, who has demanded our blood from the very beginning of time. They communicate to their minions through the movies, TV, print media, and religion, while he can see, read, and interpret most all of it based on the ancient communication and symbol. It all says that they are using us for our ingenuity, for our collective constructive labour, for experimentation, and in the end, they intend to kill us all. They have given us full notice of what they are doing and what they fully intend to do, while all of the general population, the sheeple, they merely go there to be entertained. The New World Order is the Old World Order from the very beginning of recorded history. There is a major cosmic natural disaster that is about to happen on Earth, and they know it because they have engineered all of it, while they are cleverly leaving us in the dark. Hence the reason that they have built hundreds of underground bases all around the world, while they are leaving all of the people to remain unprepared, uninformed, and above ground, so that when it all comes, the mere 5% who will survive above ground will die from the weaknesses and disease that has been generated from all of the poisons that they have been feeding us, from the chemical aerosol spraying of our sky, to fluoride in the water, to tainted vaccines, to fake food, etc., etc. They have enslaved us all at birth by the clever means of deception, because we most all are their cattle, chattel, property, and because they merely wanted to harness our labour, what they always needed, which is what backs most of the world's currency through the birth certificate, a Wall Street security. But they are all through with us now, as it is written in stone, as it can be seen written in the Georgia Guidestones. It says, we are a virus upon the earth. To know the truth is to be empowered and to be prepared. We may not be able to stop what has been done and what is about to happen, but the innocent and decent people on planet Earth deserve to know. And now, here's Dezert-Owl.
And welcome to the broadcast, ladies and gentlemen. Good to have you, and hope everybody's doing well out there. And Anna, last name out there in Finland, good to have you today. And I know it's a better time frame for Anna and Kip on the road out there. And don't forget, if you see anything interesting out there, Kip, love to get a road report. You know, you can always call in with that type of information, because you are sort of like the truckers were the first internet, and that's how information traveled real quick on the outside of the mainstream. And then so truckers go everywhere and see everything, and I did it for about 7 years, and that was enough for me. The ultimate slavery, unless you're single. If you're single, it's not bad, but when you got a family, it's a killer. So anyway, yeah, we have some miles to go here on the broadcast. We've got some reading. I didn't get much done on the latest draft that I was doing on Hebrews, nor on the Gospel of Peter by Mark. And so the last 2 days I was down for a day with a detox headache going on, and I couldn't do nothing but watch documentaries. And so anyway, we'll be back at it again at least on Monday, because the weekend, I get caught up with this. And then Dane Wigington, don't forget later today, Dane Wigington, he's on for an hour with his latest broadcast. Okay, that's Dane Wigington. First name, last name on YouTube. Okay, he's got geoengineeringwatch.org, but his YouTube channel is Dane Wigington. Can't miss it. It'll really explain why all the political charade is the way it is, because of what's happening environmentally. There's no more food. They're going to have you eating bugs real soon. They got a wonderful soup of bugs they're putting together for a protein bar, and that was seen on the movie Snowpiercer. There was you got to see it if you haven't seen it. Oh, it's quite a pick. Okay, it's in our face, Snowpiercer. Okay, and they were eating protein bar. They were in the back. We're in the back of the train. We're at the back, and the controllers are in the front, of course, and in the middle they're preparing our soup for us. So it's it's so much easier to want to leave this world. I got to say, if ever. There's nothing to regret leaving. It's just one big lie, and of a psychopathic secret handshake club members. Think they're better than everyone else. A clique of humans that think they're better than everybody else, and that they're somehow special, and you're just a dirtbag slave. That's it. And so the irony is that being in our position in life, being as the cast out and the cast down, we actually have the greatest potential for transcendence, for leaving this world. It's good to be persecuted. It's good to be kicked around, because it's a real wake up call to realize that our so-called brothers and sisters on planet Earth, that we're supposed to be here. We're supposed to look out for each other and take care of each other. Then we got this hate group that follow the Babylonian Talmud, whether you want to call them Catholics or Jews or all, and then the rest of them just come in and follow, because they got everybody else on the string. So it's a collective group, but at the top, it's a very select group. And in fact, we don't even know who they are. We only see their front people. Those are the people we see on television. They're the front people. They're not the people running the world. They're the yes sir. They're just another version of another slave. But they think they're better than all of us because they got the connection. They got the big fancy car. They got the bank account. They got it all. I got mine. You didn't get yours. Oh, so sorry. So sorry. I guess you're not special then, And it's an amazing time to be in. I always thought what it would be like to be, at the beginning, when it all started, right there at the, when Adam comes on the scene, the first made, last to come on earth with the knowledge, that knowledge of a light being, all that knowledge to how the entire universe operated, and then to what do you want to do? Cut stone? You want to fly through the air? You want to look at the stars? What do you want to do? We can do it because they got the knowledge on how to make it. And then it all disappeared. All that technology just right after the flood or before the flood. It was a process, but then it was all gone. All gone. And but yet we see all the evidence of the stone cutting, the drilling, and it's amazing, ladies and gentlemen, what we've got to contend with on this planet. So do tell your friends about the broadcast, okay? Because we have a way of saying it and presenting it, based on a lifetime of study that I have. But it was also the great breath of the wind and fire, the Holy Spirit of the great Father who breathes, that got me on the trail. It's not head knowledge. It's revealed knowledge. And so, to be put at the right documentary just to see that thing, you were looking for, to have the right book, turn to the right page. And it's a work, ladies and gentlemen, and then it's a whack, because once you wake up to what is happening in our world, it challenges you. I already knew I had a limited lifespan, but now there's a group of people that want to take me out with their poisons. They've been working on it real hard. This is why my grandparents died at an early age. It seemed like all my grandparents died in their age 50s, and then we figured it out, or somebody did, and we're so grateful for them, that bleached white sugar was no good, bleached white flour was no good, bleached white salt was no good, all of it. And then they say don't eat egg yolk when you need to eat egg yolk. They got us. I found out, by the time I was in my late 20s, that anything the government ever said, you ought to do the opposite, because they're liars. They're pathological liars. And there's never an ounce of truth ever come out of them, because the first lie is that they're your government, and they're not your government. They are a war machine waged against you. You were declared the enemy in 1933 with the War and Emergency Powers Act. What part of being declared the enemy doesn't anybody get? The enemy. And John, good to have you. Okay. Yeah, that's right. He says, John or Game says, I kind of ask for knowledge, but man, it can be overwhelming sometimes. That's right. So anyway, that's not Kev, but is it? That almost looks like a picture of Kev. Oh, well, we'll find out if it is. I don't think so, because I've not been hearing from him on Skype. I'm still keeping Kev in prayer. And he's already had it. He had it tough, and and he's got a bit tougher now. You know, he lost everything, and I think now he's lost his phone as well. If not, they've lassoed him in. You know, as they want to reel everybody in, get them in their Hotel Hilton. You know, with 5 bars and 5 stars. So okay, so enough of being long-winded here. I have a few words I'm going to go over real quick, and then I got more words later. We're going to get back to our reading of facts and our facts on how the Jewish banking, you know, wages all the wars. They invent the wars. You know, they gave us you know, East Germany. Remember that? They gave us Stalinist Soviet Union. The Jewish banking gave us all that. They gave us Hitler, actually, because they're the prime agents under the Vatican, the Jesuits, okay, founded by Jews, the Jesuits founded by Jews, and they have no national alliance. Actually, there is no nation anyway. They're all imaginations. But in spite of that, from a legal standpoint, they are well, as it says in the Catholic Encyclopedia, that the Rothschild/Bauer family are the protectors and defenders of the Vatican Trust. Okay, the protectors and defenders of the Vatican Trust. So they print all the money. Imagine the ability to write a number and you can have it. It's my number. Boom. You know, need 1 million, need 10 million. That's power. That's why they can, like when you watch the movies and they get 100,000 people in the movie. How did they pay all those people? Because there's no money, and all they do is they're Jewish bankers, and so now they're working with Jewish Hollywood. The Khazarian Jews founded Hollywood, you know, and so they just say, how much do you need, brother? Okay, here it goes. Oh, don't forget, give me my 10% when you go to the box office. Sure, you get your 10%. Yeah, and so this is how the game. It's a game of you know, creating an illusion of how could they get all of these airplanes flying through the sky? You know, where are all these trillions of dollars, right, that they, you know, talk about they're spending in the black budget? Well, you know, I had a wonderful illustration until my, you know, lost my other computer. But you know, if you took several, like let's just say a trillion, because it don't, I don't think it's going to hardly matter. But by the time you get to $1 trillion, if you put them all on pallets, if you put all them on pallets and you stack them on top of each other, it would have been higher than the Twin Towers. Okay, higher. $1 trillion is so unreal, you know, that it defies logic, and that's only because they can create all the illusions they want. That's how they got to build all the underground bases. I mean, come on, they weren't working with gold and silver. There's not enough gold and silver to go around like that. It's what they monetized was our labor. They monetized our labor. That's the only thing of real value. Other than the mineral resource, it's your energy resource, your labor. There's the 2 prime commodities: material, labor. And that's how they make the world go round. Binding your hide with the birth certificates, Roman slave document. You became a slave, and you bought into every lie they ever told you. Yum, yum, yum. Eat it up. Oh, that's another good one, isn't it? Yeah, I'm going to tell Bob about that one. That's a really good lie. And but they think it's truth. It's lies, but they think it's truth. So and Ninja saying, I remember back in the early 90s, Aussie government told us that if we overcook sausage on the barbecue, it could cause cancer. Yeah, right. Anyway, it's a wonderful shell game, Mr. and Mrs. Smith. And so what shell do you want to pick up? So let's see here. I'm going to do, I guess, oh yeah, that's right. I was going to do a couple of those words real quick. The interesting ones that are, like, you know, related to the conspiratorial illusions that they create all the time. So let me do that. I'm going to go ahead now. Hold back on the chat so I can do a few words. Okay, hold back on the chat until I get onto the next phase here. But I'm going to do a few words. All right. I want to welcome all of our friends and listeners who are stopping by, and hot retarded chicks. Okay, good to have you. We haven't seen you before, I don't think. And so this word here, A-C-T-I-V-A-T-E, we see in this word A-C-T-I-V-E, or should go like, yeah, I guess that would have been right. Active 8. Activate. You see, there's a code word right there, because as we know that they use the 88 in their occultic, and what 8 equals is 8 equals return. It's so it goes. Let's start at the top of the 8, right? You come down, you go around, then you go to the other side and keep going down. Then you get to the bottom. Then you come back around, start going up, and then you go across the top again and back up to the very top. It's a cycle, and because you got two circles equals excuse me, 2 WORLDS, 2 worlds. Okay, your 2 circles. It's the upper. It's the spirit realm of energy. It's pure energy, right? Pure energy made everything. Pure energy is what the Great Spirit is in a way that we can't begin to fathom. Only that we see the evidence of it. We see it in lightning. We see it in nature. We see it in the water. You know, we see it in all life. It has the, you know, it goes round. Everything spins. So so anyway, I found that was an interesting word because I just happened to have as my number, it was 88, and I didn't know that until not too long ago somewhere. Then finally I started seeing the occult we're using. It's somebody pointed it out, or I don't remember how I clicked onto it, but yet 88 was my number, and I just saw it as a double return. um, and Jonah is saying, I view the controllers as pretty insane entities that actually I feel sad about. Like you can feel sad about a mosquito right before you kill it. Well, we hardly give it any thought, I think, though, right? Serve a purpose, I guess, but we always have the power. Right. Depends upon what type of power specifically, because we all have limited power, but we can access the infinite power at the same time, and that's what we need to do. But the only thing is we got to purify the heart and the mind to access the infinite power, and that's what we need in our life. We need to be one with that infinite power. And so okay, so hold back again on the chat, because I got a few more words I'm going to do here. Okay, and appreciate that. So that's activate. I just found it really interesting that it's the same word, activate, right? And then you got the active number 8. And this is an example of the original thought. Okay, LISTEN is LISTGEN. List 10. So when like you would, if you wanted people to hear, right? It's like like implying, cup your ears, put your hands over your ears so you can hear real well, like you're trying to hear from far away. You would cup your hands. You would list 10. Put your hands on both sides of your ears to create a bigger cup to hear the sound that's far away. So that's list 10. You see, that's what it absolutely means. So that's original thought. Just like alpine is really all. That's what you find up there in the mountains. The evergreen, the green, the tree that never turns brown, the evergreen tree up on the highest reaches, the alpine. Okay, but alpine sounds really like a name, a name by itself, and has a nice flavor, but yet it actually means, it's 2 words, and it means all pine. So they that's what they do. Just like varicose veins, right? Sounds like a real scientific word. Varicose veins, where on your heel, down, usually along your ankle, you got veins popping out, and some people don't like the way it looks. And but really it means just simply very close veins, very close to the outer, to the skin, very close. So, but they called it varicose. So they think it was a scientific term. Yeah, we're pretty smart. So anyway, that's how the game is played, ladies and gentlemen. I could, like, here's a good one. Banana, BANNANA, sure, to show the original thought. Okay, so it's bone, Anna. So you see, banana is an abbreviation. As I said, they abbreviate the words for 2 words, and it's bone Anna. So literally, it literally means bone harvest. Okay, Anna is harvest, and bone, as we, as ban is a a form of. So if it sounds like, looks like, it probably is. But when you connect it with the second word, then it becomes obvious. There's no question. Banana is bonana, and it means bone harvest. Because what do you see when you see a cluster of bananas, right? It looks like rib cage bones, right? Bones of the ribs. And so it's the bone harvest. So because you got a whole cluster of them. Okay, so it's not hard to deduce. And what's interesting, I finally clicked with the subliminal meaning of the word skull and bones just the other day. And so I'll type it in here. And SKULL means to, that's how we do this, steer. Okay. No. What's, and all right. So skull is STEAR. And actually means to steer. Let me fix that. And then bones as we see in there, the original word for one is VONES. It would be like that, Vons, because as that you see me do it in the transliteration. So bones is means ones, NES. Okay, so literally, skull and bones means the steering ones. Okay, so that's what they do, right? As your head skulls on your neck, it turns, you steer it. So what they called with the first shipping with the small little boats, the little craft, they called it sculling. They were steering. And so literally, it just doesn't mean like a bunch of bad guys, so they call themselves Skull and Bones, but they are the steering ones. That's the code. And now we can see that that's what they do. There's about 15 new Skull and Bones every year, so there's about 800 of them. And they are the prime secret societies out of Germany. They come from there. Remember, German means Khazarian Jew again, right? Remember that, because it's a code word, because Germany is not Deutschland. They're two different words. And germ is the seed, right? Seed of the many, the seed of the many. Who are the many? Those who have international autonomy and claim no nation other than some esoteric nation, being the Jews, right? The bankers. They have no alliance to any nation. That's why they've been kicked out practically of every nation of Europe at one point or another. So they are the ones that are they're given the key positions in America. The head of Time magazine, head of Life magazine, head of the key magazines. Then they become the chief justice, right? They become a president of the United States. They become all these different key positions, and so they make sure that the direction is maintained where the unseen hand wants everything to go, right? So they are the steering ones, and that's exactly what they do. So I'm amazed. I hadn't seen it before, but when you're reading code, you got to look at everything, and if you don't stop and take a look, it just goes right past you. Okay, and just got a couple more here. Then we're going to do a little a lost writing, and also a little more from the Orlinda book. And I may comment on another book that's out there. I had not seen it before until this week, called the Uranta. And just like there's so many books that people have made, not made by this great spirit of life, and you have to be able to measure them, by the scriptures, and if they're true, speaking truth, then they're going to harmonize with the scriptures. And so, you probably never heard of the Book of Wasaphe. I mean, the Book of Wasaphe is like it looks like a giant encyclopedia, and And so there's a lot of books out there that never got very far when they were trying to create other, like, quote unquote Christian traditions. That's why there's 600 versions, right? I call it Baskin Robbins. What flavor do you want? You know, you can have it no music, you can have it with music. You want, you know, all of these crazy ideas that they have flowing through these man-made institutions run by Jesuits and Jews and Masons. You know, so here's another one. Let's see. And I want to just a little bit of the. Forgive me, I'm playing with cards here. I've got my list in front of me, and they keep moving on me. So we're looking at, here's another example of an original thought, and it's important. It's important because it's really telling a story here. But in school, they tell us that the end of a word is called a. But actually, it is. The suffix. You see, so we might think that the prefix of a word is like the dominant because it's in the front, but actually it's very most often, perhaps you'd have to really look at it on a bigger scale. I haven't given it that much energy, but I noticed that that very often at the end of the word is the prime root that is carrying the ball. So that is the soul of the word, and so it's the suffix, and then you change the prefixes and you get the other meanings. You know, so that's a relevant science to look at, and it is true often enough. Even though I wouldn't say it's true across the board, it will have to be given a good analysis to know that. But it means that which is, and that which is as that which is first. That which is last is like that which is first, being superior. Just like what's the last thing on a document, right? It's your, so you could call it your suffix again, your signature, what they call the signature, right? It's at the end. So what is last is what is superior. And let's see here. Maybe we'll do one more. Okay, one more. When we go to a you know, to vote for somebody, they call it an election. And so remember, the A equals the I. Okay, that's original. AY is the original for I. A. And so we go to an election, but they want us to elect, E-L-E-C-T, but the original was the A. So it's the election, A-L-E-C-T-I-O-N. It's actually the election, because A is at the beginning, right? That's the first thing you look at the alphabet. That's the I. And so it's an election. But why? Because it means the I speaks. The I speaks. Okay, that's what it means. So the most important decision, you know, is, because election, you know, as we talked about with this word here, A-L-E-K-H, elect. There's the correct spelling for elect, elect. And it also might be with an A instead of, but you know, like A-L-A-K-H. Also possible, you know, that is a word because the rule is you change the vowels and you get the other meaning of words. So alak or elek, elek, but we know the sound elek sounds more natural for election, and so so it just simply means the I, and in fact it could be spelled like this: A-Y-L-E-K-H, like that. Notice there's no T in it, right? No, it's elek, but they got us elect. We always pronounce that T, but it's really supposed to be silent. It's elek, and so the I means the I speaks, but also it means the I knows, because lek we find in lectern, in lecture, in eclectic, and so it means knowledge. You know, in simple terms, it means knowledge. And so the I knows, the I speaks, and so it's a power word. All right, I just want to make that clear on that. So these are you know, going back into Indo-Germanic elements for anybody who's not familiar with what I'm dealing with here, is they got us stuck in the Hebrew and the Greek, and what I've ultimately had shown to me is that it's based on the Indo-Germanic. We have to go back to that which was first. That which is first is original. That which is first is superior. And in fact, as Waddell said, who wrote several dictionaries from the Indo-Germanic Sumerian, he says that in modern, that's in the 1800s. He said in modern time, in that time, and in the late 1800s, we were speaking 70% Indo-Germanic Sumerian. Okay, and he said it's also the same in what we call Egyptian, but it's really Meitzoreim, the original word. Everything's been switched out, ladies and gentlemen. So there is nothing natural. There's no natural anything, and we have to try to pierce the veil, because when we get back to these original thoughts, well, I'll tell you. I was thinking maybe I should do a couple more words real quick. Let me give you an example. The light, because what I was about to say, the light always reveals itself in these shavors, right? So let me prove it out. Let me just go ahead and do that. We haven't done words much lately. So glory is forgot this. Okay, glory is the golden true ray. The G is a symbol for gold, and then the Lori is the movement of the sun through the sky. But the O ray means true ray. So all of that is in there. That's the lexicography. That's reading the symbol as the hieroglyph, as it is truth, because the words consistently all the time, unless it's a little bit of Pig Latin that's beyond the norm, it always reveals. It always reveals the hidden thought, the original thought that I've been pointing out. And so glory is one of the ultimate cyber codes, because I have literally easily 20, if not 30, potential definitions or transliterations of the word glory. It's the glowing rays. You can hear it right there. It also means, you see, GLOWING RAY, glow ray. Glory is glowing ray or glow ray. Glow ray. Okay, so there's the surface. That's the surface meaning, the glowing ray, glow ray. But yet then it has the other esoteric meanings behind it. You have to look at the textual material in front of it, behind it, in the sentence, to determine what it could be also potentially meaning. And because they've created a code, they've created a science hiding the light. They're hiding the light from us. And so what we have to do is we have to find that light. Just like word kingdom in a literal sense, if we took it in the literal, not as the lexicography, but just the literal kingdom. Okay, now king is Cain. And I don't know, I should have done that first, I guess, but okay, let's do it like this. King is Cain, D-O-M-E, Cain dome, which means means then in the literal sense, based on those words, fiery judgment. Dome is judgment. That's why there's a dome on the courthouse. That's why there's a dome on the Capitol buildings, because it's the place to making decisions. But literally, kingdom also means royal circle, because the dome is round. It represents the earth, the spherical circle of the planet, and so it's a royal circle. It's in its implication. Okay, so but see, because king is not the original word. The original word, is Malek. That's for king. And then the Malek is the royal messenger. There's the word lek. There's the lack I talked about up above, right? I said I did not even click with me. That lek, L-E-K-H, we find in M-A-L-A-K-H. How about that? There it is. Thank you very much, Heavenly Father. So you see, keep talking and things start clicking. And so if we go with this word here, we've got, okay, it's dealing with the word spray, S-P-R-A-Y. Okay, spray. Then we find in there a prime root, which we see as R-A, and then the, we can put it like this, Y. Okay, the Ra is the prime. We see that in Meitzar, Egypt, right? But it really means ray. Ra is ray. And so in spray, then we literally see the shafa, shafre, S-H-A-P-H-R-A-Y. I should have put an A in front of that. Let me do that. Eshafre. Eshafre is the spray. You see, it's an abbreviation again. But in the spray, we see the word ray, right? We see ray. And so, so in a spray, you see the ray, which is symbolic of light. Okay. So everything is referring back to light. So rest, we talk about rest, right? Let's look at that one. R-E-S-T. Then we see R-O-Y-A-L. Well, let's do it like this. Let's do it like this. R-A-Y-E-A-S-T. Ray East. And what does that mean? Royal Star. Rest is Royal Star. And because you see, the RE can be on the prefix and or the first word, and then the ST is the second word. For prime root abbreviation for star is ST, even though star is a corruption for czar. Czar is the original word, but they moved us away from that one and gave us star. T-Z-A-R became S-T-A-R, because czar was a power word, and so they rearranged the letters, right? And they gave the Z an S, and that's how the game is played. So rest is Royal Star, because that's where we want to go back to our eternal rest, right? Is to the Royal Star, back to the light. So that's what it means, and that's the implication. So in Rust, as we now have talked about the ST, knowing what that means, R-U-S-T, is a red star. Okay, to a Rus, right? We know that, like in Russian, Rus means red, R-U-S. Rus, R-U-S equals R-E-D. Okay, and so ST abbreviation, so Rus is red star. Okay, I'll do, let's see if we want to do one more. Okay, we'll do two more. Okay, we'll do two more, then we'll get on with, well, we'll take a break, and then when we get back, we'll get into some reading here, some lost writings, and some stuff they didn't want you to know, ladies and gentlemen, and that we bring it on here. So, okay, so we're talking about story. And in story, I'm looking at my notes here. We see star ray. So a story is a star ray. It means a ray, like a motion picture, right? We see because of a light beam, right? It's a star ray that allows us to watch the movie. And so it also, so stories also can mean story could mean star, E-Y-E, star eye as well. So that's all in there. Star ray, star eye. The stars are little points of light, and they're called eyes, right? They would be referred to as eyes as well. The eyes of the sky. And then Hebrew, of course, going back to that one, a real code took me decades to finally be able to see it clearly. Is the star rays. H is the star rays. The W is a V, you see, and that was one that really a lot of long time before that one was so clear. No question about it. Mainly was getting clear on the B, the V transition, how they hid the V by giving us the B as the second letter when it was really the V and all that. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. I had one more. Did I have one more? No, I'll save that. I'm going to save that for maybe towards the end. We can do a few more words at the end. Okay, so we're going to take a break, ladies and gentlemen, and when we get back, we're going to get into the lost fragments of John from the Gospel of John, but a separate source that was not affected by the filtering of the Vatican. Okay, so then we'll read the Orlinda a little bit, reveal the Uranta book real quick, just refer to it. And facts are facts. Okay, so glad you're all tuned in. Hope you're telling your friends about the broadcast. And so don't go away. We'll be right back.
Okay, phew, that was a close one. Signal came back within seconds, so we are good to go for more of the program. Welcome back. You are listening to Ask Dezert-Owl on the Welcome back. You are listening to Ask Dezert-Owl on the Forbidden History series. I'm NinjaCat, and it's good to be here. It's good that we are still going. Before we get back into it, I would like to share with you, I shared that page last time, sorry, I'll just change it. Desert's books, they are absolutely beautiful. I think he has 26. Can't afford to donate. Everybody needs to know this information. So just call